What if I told you that there is a privacy coin that's just completely transformed itself, migrated to Base, launched the layer 3 app chain, has Grayscale backing, and is about to release a technology that could change how institutions use DeFi? And that project I'm talking about is none other than Horizen. Okay, I did share a buy alert, and we are up 20% because privacy is running again. The picture looks pretty decent, but this is an interesting project that I've been DCA'd into, okay, especially for institutional DeFi. So why talk about Horizen? And of course, we have spoken about Horizen previously in a privacy video that you can find in the channel. So let me tell you what this is. It's been around since 2017. And what's happening right now in 2026 is a complete reinvention. And most people have no idea what that reinvention is. Today, I'm breaking down the bullish case for ZEN token, the catalyst that the technology, and why this privacy play might be one of the most slept on opportunities in crypto right now. So let's get to it. So first of all, let me explain, right? Horizen is an old coin. Is not the same project as it was from, a few years ago. Horizen 2.0 launched its mainnet on Base on December the 9th, 2025. Right. And as such, that's a massive pivot. They went from being a standalone layer 1 proof of work blockchain to becoming the first privacy focused layer 3 app chain on Base. That's Coinbase's layer 2. Why does it matter? It matters because Coinbase would love to have a share of the privacy market. We know what privacy coins have done. We know, Monero and XMR and Zcash, they've been absolutely ripping it for the past 12 months. So there is a clear use case for the technology. However, although people argue that privacy chains carry risk, I think the pivot to Base here is something that nobody's talking about. Okay, so now there are layer 3 app chain on the Base's layer 2 ecosystem. There are 3 words: distribution, liquidity, and security. Base captures about 60% of all layer 2 revenue in 2022. They have about 4.6 to 6 billion in TVL, and they have direct access to Coinbase's 9 million monthly users. We know that. But building on Base, Horizen now taps into all of its infrastructure. ZEN migrated to an ERC20 Base token in July with one-to-one swap, same 21 million max supply. Right, it has 21 million tokens, of which 17 million are in circulation. The migration was seamless on Coinbase, automatically converting ZEN. And if you're on exchanges like Binance, Bybit, OKX, your token migrated automatically. You didn't do anything. This is a reinvention of this token. Base migration. We'll look at the roadmap in just a second. So what's the catalyst? Confidential Compute Environment, or HCCE, Q1 2021. I think that's going to be huge. The Horizen's launching this confidential computational environment this quarter. This uses a trusted executable environment, or the TWEs, to enable the privacy smart contract with the execution of optional audit trails. And this matters because the institutions need privacy, but also need compliance. Think about it this way. Hedge fund can't buy or trade their strategies visible on a public blockchain. A corporation can't have their supply or suppliers' information or payments exposed to their competitors, which HCCE Horizen solves this. Private execution with selective disclosure for regulators, and of course, that's going to work in the real world. Now, the catalyst would be, for me, if you have a look at again, it's going under the radar. All-time high for this coin was around $165 or something like that. But with the reinvention, it's going to be different. Catalyst, 100 million ZEN development fund is already there. And they've launched 1 million ZEN ecosystem fund, roughly 9 million at the current prices, with plans to expand it significantly. They are going to be targeting DeFi, confidential AI tools, gaming with privacy features, compliance-ready financial tools. 40% of the funds will be specifically allocated to I think it's financial tools and institutional flows. So they have something called ecosystem is already built in. Zendesk, a privacy-first DEX with zero knowledge proofs. Obscura, which is copy trading platform. Gambler, which is about 3,000 plus gaming with variable fairness. And Data Hubs, a real-time data infrastructure. Plus liquidity from Aerodrome, Uniswap integration. And of course, they are going to be quite prominent. So if anyone's taking that buy alert from the Discord, congratulations, well done. But with 2025 behind us, what does 2026 bring in store for this particular project? In my opinion, I think this is way too early to fade. You are basically getting the base mainnet, base backing, and base ecosystem. We all know how privacy is becoming even more important. So if they can position themselves as for privacy, for business, for institutions, and that's exactly what they've obviously talked about on this new base era in the base ecosystem, I think this is the right time to look at the overall potential for ZEN. So far, I am totally, absolutely dedicated to this project. And if you look at the chart so far since we started buying, we are up. And if you ignore, I mean, listen, 21 million tokens in terms of, you know, what's circulating, right? 184 million, 200 million fully diluted, decent volume, not crazy yet, but decent volume. Trading volume went from 30 million earlier when we put some money into this. Trading volume here was around, I believe, $38 million. So it's already now tripled that. So healthy volume. I think Horizen is going to be a huge, potentially Zcash-like type of project because they do have the momentum. In the world where Monero and Zcash face constant delisting pressures, Horizen is building the privacy solution with institutional mind. Okay, that's the background. So price now around $10, of course, is ranked well outside of the top 180. It's 100. In fact, it's about 183 ranked. And with 94% below its all-time high, I think that is going to make sense. In terms of the price, 50-day moving average rising, 200-day is rising as well since January the 1st. RSI is in neutral territory, and I think it is going to be one of those projects that just maybe just catches people out. But so far, I do like what I'm seeing, and I think we could do the all-time high. Bearing in mind, if we break these kind of like the $14 level, next place is around $25. Let me know if you like the project. If you hold it, of course, share, like, and tune into the next one. God bless you all. Take care.